Indie Author Lab from the Alliance of Independent Authors is a brand new in-person event for indie authors during London Book Fair Week. Taking place in London on March 11, 2026, it's a full day of mentoring, workshops, and community connection. Created for indie authors by indie authors. Learn more and secure your tickets at selfpublishingadvice.org/indieauthorlab. Welcome to Self-Publishing with ALLi from the Alliance of Independent Authors. This week we focus on marketing and promotion. Join Orna Ross as she interviews the brightest minds, experts, and insiders in the writing and publishing business. Get actionable insights to help you level up your author brand and reach more readers. This podcast is proudly sponsored by BookFunnel. Do you have reader magnets, ARCs, and direct digital sales? Want to join multi-author promotions? Thousands of authors trust BookFunnel for seamless delivery and real human support. Visit bookfunnel.com. And here's your host for Self-Publishing with ALLi, Orna Ross.
Hello and welcome to Self-Publishing with ALLi. It's me, Orna Ross, Director of the Alliance of Independent Authors, and this is our marketing stream, and I'm here today to tell you about the latest ALLi guidebook, which is called Sell More Books. Now, if you're a regular listener, you will remember that at the end of last year, we published a marketing guide called Reach More Readers. And that is very much to lay the proper foundations for a marketing setup in your publishing businesses. In your publishing business, I should say. So, the foundations, not in the abstract, but actually the real life things that are really important to your promise to the reader, building your author platform, looking at all the different aspects of marketing and how you set that up. And now, why this new book, Sell More Books? Well, this one is all about book promotion. So at ALLi, we split the two. And again, if you're a regular listener, you'll be aware of this. Reach More Readers lays the groundwork for marketing. Sell More Books is about promotion, and the difference between those two. The first is long-term, ongoing, keeps on happening, and whether you're measuring it or not, they are working for you in the background. Various systems that you have set up, which would include your reader magnet, how you get your readers to you, the reader discoverability journey, and so on. Sell More Books is about promotion, and that's time-based. Has a start and a finish date, is focused on a particular book usually, whereas marketing is on, your books as a whole, you as an author as well as individual books. And it's very measurable promotion. You have a clear goal and you know if you have reached it or not. Marketing, absolutely. You have creative and commercial intentions for your marketing, but because it's ongoing and it's more diffuse, it's not as easy to measure. So, Sell More Books will be available soon. It is with the editor at the moment. It is going into indexing in a few weeks, the print edition, and will be on sale then. And it is already on pre-order. And that's one of the things I've come to tell you today. Already on pre-order and half price if you pre-order now at selfpublishingstore.com. So today what I'm going to do is I've written an introduction to that book, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about that introduction and just say the things essentially that I'm saying there. And and also I suppose just taking a look at what has changed in book promotion in recent years. So I think we all know that the promo landscape is changing rapidly, shifting under our feet, really. It's much noisier. It's much more open. AI is very much in there. And, all of that can make authors feel, I don't want to go there. It's too much for me. So what I want to say, first of all, I suppose, is that's not a logical response. It's not a necessary response, and it's not the response that we would encourage you to have. So I'm hoping that today's introduction will change your mind a little bit about that. So on the plus side, because we do as authors tend to worry, and we do kind of tend to worry each other with the things we talk about, I think it's really important to say that, again, indies have lots more ways to sell and reach readers than ever before, even more now than, just a short few years ago, and infinitely more than when I started out as an author. Where we can sell wide, we can sell direct, we can sell in bundles and boxes and series, we can run launches that are full-on events and Kickstarter crowdfunders, and we can partner with other authors, and we can use audio and video if we're so inclined. We can have live sessions and reader groups, we can hand sell in person. All of these things are very available to us, and we have very good tools which allow us to do them. And that is not to say that you should do them all. And I suppose that's the first thing we want to say, is that you need to choose. Even when it comes to promotion, it's not scattergun. It's not about, I'll do Amazon ads and I'll set up some email marketing and I'll see if I can get a book club deal and I'll go to my local market on a Saturday. You really need, with promotion, to get very selective. And the same things that we talked about in Reach More Readers, where you really understand yourself as an author and understand your particular readers and create a bridge between you, but then you're building on that. You don't suddenly start firing off when you get to the promotion stage. Very much tailoring and focusing in around what your particular reader, the readers in your genre, and also you and what you like to do and what you're good at and what gives you energy and what drains your energy. So, there are ways of promoting books that will make you feel good about yourself as an author and will make you feel good about the whole process of telling readers about them. And there are ways that will make you feel lousy. And so the whole point is to either outsource completely or drop the things that make you feel lousy and focus all your energy in and around what makes you feel good. So the other thing I think that it's necessary to say, that even when it comes to book promotion, which can be a lot more sort of targeted and managerial and commercially driven than the general marketing ideas we discussed in Reach More Readers, it's important in this new world that we're going into in 2026 and beyond, with everything being so powered by AI, that we understand readers are not necessarily looking for more and faster from us. They're looking for depth, they're looking for meaning, they're looking for connection in your book promotion. And I suppose that's easiest for those of us who use the creator business model of direct sales and multiple streams of income. And, that whole idea of the creative business model is what we call it in our own internal documents and in our indie author income survey. And we saw that there's a big rise in that relatively to the last survey that we did 2 years ago. Incomes are rising in the direct sales world, and things like signed copy, special editions, subscriptions, all of these really ignite readers. And crowdfunding is, I suppose, the promo type that really gets to the heart of that. And we have seen many of our members do very successful crowdfunding campaigns over the last year or two. And those who get really personal and, produce the things that they really like and get a bit quirky and a bit different and a bit creative, these are the authors who are gaining traction among readers at this time. So, price is always a factor for us to consider, but the old way in which indies were on a kind of perpetual discount race and our pricing was our USP, these are well and truly gone now. Most authors who are running a good business know that they have to invest in their promotion, and that if they price their books too low, they won't have the margin to do that. So there's lots to think about when it comes to thinking about promotion. It isn't just a matter of signing up for what has worked for somebody else. It's very much thinking about, what is most likely to work for you. I have had authors say to me, why bother promoting? I'm doing all this work on marketing. So I have my reader magnet, I have my email list, it's growing slowly. Why not just, stick with marketing and skip the promotion bit of it? And, that is a valid thing to do if you are not trying to build a commercially successful publishing business. If you are happy to be read and to slowly build and to put your books out there and focus mostly on the writing and your base marketing, that's absolutely your call. And that's a really valid decision, a very, very valid thing to do. However, if you want to grow your business and if you want to be a better publisher, a bigger publisher in 2 years' time than you are now, you do need to layer in the promotional layer. So, because what happens is that, a series reaches a tipping point and is no longer selling, other people rise in the world and your books become a bit more invisible. Promotion is the act of kind of ensuring that you're keeping your books out there and you're investing time, attention and energy to make sure that they don't vanish into, the great digital drift of all the invisible books. So marketing's like the steady flame there and promotion is like the bellows, for those of you who like fire metaphors, and I do. So your flame will burn without the bellows, but it will burn, more fiercely and faster if you add the promotion in. There is an idea sometimes in the community that promotion is only for certain kinds of authors or certain kinds of books. The ones we think of as the loud ones, the fast ones, the genre ones, the visible ones with big budgets, or those who like performative social media, for example. So when authors don't fit into that particular picture, then they can feel kind of awkward or exposed or even, a bit queasy and conclude promotion's not for me. And that's a mistake, or can be a mistake, I think. The discomfort is probably not saying to you that promotion is wrong. It's saying that this particular style of promotion that you're attempting is wrong for you. So we looked, and if you haven't read Reach More Readers, I would recommend reading it before you go to Sell More Books, because in there we explore the different publishing styles and the different author temperaments, and we look at what happens when you try to force yourself into kind of a marketing promotion identity that doesn't match you and doesn't match your work. So in Some More Books, we look at that as well, not in as much detail. And the idea is that promotion can be quiet, it can be elegant, and it can be conversational, it can even be scholarly, it definitely can be playful, and it can be intimate, a sense of the reader, just you and the reader. It can be strongly seasonal if you want to, if you find that when you are promoting that you just get too stirred up to go deeply into your writing, you can build it around a yearly plan. It doesn't all have to happen all the time. You can have promotion in real life, physical world, bookstores, libraries, schools, festivals, or it can be online, and that can be on other people's podcasts or ads or direct sales, retailer-led promotion. So Sell More Books is structured to take you from understanding promotion into designing a promo plan that suits your books and your temperament. In it, you'll explore lots of different promotional approaches, those that fit your style, and enable you to think about what assets you particularly need to build in order to do your promotion, which partners you want to work with, and it will help you to map out a plan that you can follow. So what's actually in the book? After the introduction, where we talk about these various issues and questions, we start with setting up what are the actual prerequisites for book promotion. What do you need to gather together? What do you need to know? And what do you need to have with you? And then in chapter 3, we look at designing your actual promotional campaign. And that will look across things like your targeting, who you're going to be, kind of going after, in inverted commas, your budgeting, what sort of budget do you have to invest, and that includes time as well as money. And we begin then in chapter 4 talking about the basics, and the easiest input, which is promoting to your email list and growing your email list, which is the bridge between marketing and promotion. Whenever obviously building your list is an ongoing marketing activity that you're doing all the time. But each promotion that you do will also help to build your list. And because every time somebody buys a book from you, particularly if you're selling direct, you're going to have their email address and that will add to your list. But there are various other promotions as well, various tools and services for growing your list. And we'll look into that in chapter 4. So yeah, chapter 5 is all around that creative model, the multiple streams of income model, the different ways in which you can sell not just your books, but other things beyond the book as well. And then that's kind of the end of part 1. And then in part 2, we set up different promotional strategies. So depending on what kind of publisher you are. So in Reach More Readers, we spoke about there being 3 different kinds of publisher: the craft publisher, the engagement publisher, and the volume publisher. And so we look now at promotional strategies that suit each of those different kinds of publishers. Chapter 6 looks at influencers like bookstores, libraries. We're talking about literary influencers here, event organisers, review teams, critics, and so on. Chapter 7 is a close look at your street team and your art team. So once you have begun selling some books, then you will begin to develop followers and fans. And the keenest of those can be organised into street teams and art teams, people who will go out and tell the world about your books. And of course, that's much better than you going out and telling the world about your books. So how do you use street teams and art teams to promote, and how do you set them up in the first place is the topic of chapter 7. Chapter 8 looks closely at author collaboration, because other writers are actually one of the strongest resources you have as an indie, and it's one that too many indies overlook. And so we go into details about how do you organise promotions with other authors, because again, if you've got an author in a similar genre to you telling their readers how good your book is, that's a much better sell than you telling your readers how good your book is when you've already told them a few times before. Chapter 9 is all around PR, traditional PR, mainstream media, publicists, marketing services, whether you should use them, whether you don't. Again, very much depends on what kind of book you're writing. So the chapter goes into, are they right for you, and how to work with such a beast to get the best possible results, because there are very few services in the world that say to you, I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but I need you to pay me thousands of pounds to find out. And so if you are going to go the publicist or PR route, you need to be very clear about what your desired outcome is and how you're going to approach it, and getting the right service, of course, is also very key. In chapter 10, we look at in-person events and physical events, and chapter 11, the absolute opposite, promoting through algorithms, that the online bookstore algorithms, how they work, how to nudge the machine, and, just generally understand how algorithms function and how they can be your friend or your enemy before you set off on a promotion. We return in chapter 12 then to look at direct sales again, because how it's different for direct sales and how you, in a way, educate your readers in order for them to understand your promotion and to understand what it is you're trying to do and trying to make happen. And we have a section then all about ads on different platforms and the way in which they work. And we're also, of course, looking at video ads, which are really quite lively in the off space at the moment. BookTok obviously started the trend, or really drove it. It was BookTube all along, but definitely BookTok to the game a couple of years ago, and organic sales on BookTok and promotions work really well there. And one of the most recent trends we're seeing is authors selling their books live on the platforms while, the readers are there actually buying during the live performance, in inverted commas, of the authors. So it's like a shopping channel on TV, except it's for books, and it's just an author selling direct to their readers. So that's pretty exciting and a new trend, I think, for 2026. Yes. So then we look at comparable authors and common titles and how you organise around those other authors in your genre, looking at what they're doing and seeing how you can, no matter what kind of promotion you're doing, you are going to be in the same world as these authors who are doing well in your world. So understanding them, sometimes you're using them as actual keywords for ads. Sometimes it's something that's more diffuse than that, but understanding and knowing about titles and authors is really key to doing good promotions. Chapter 15 is all about pricing, and pricing has a very important role to play in promo. Obviously, there's just straight up promo pricing, like we are doing at the moment. Sell More Books is half price right now, and that we know will sell more copies than if it was full price. So, we want to get this book into the hands of as many indie authors as possible, and that's a straight up price promotion. But aside from that obvious kind of discounting, price feeds into promotions in a big way, and understanding pricing is important. So that is an important chapter. And chapter 16 is for those of you who want to and like to use social media in your promotions. What's happening over there? Things are changing in the social world at the moment, and what's going on and how to best take advantage of it. So as you can see, the book ranges across all of the different ways in which you can promote your books to readers, and you are entirely invited to skip chapters and go to only the ones that work for you. Then we reach part 3 of the book, which is about putting it all together, creating a promotion plan, looking at things like book tours, and then how to analyse, did this promo work? Was it successful? What did I learn? What am I going to take into the next promotion? And chapter 20, final chapter in the book, ends with encouraging you to have a quarterly promo strategy. So that is it. Sell More Books. We're delighted with the title and delighted that we managed to make it come in so quickly behind Reach More Readers. They were written and devised together. And so, I think we probably do a bundle of the two of them together in a while. But for now, if you are interested, you can go to the bookstore, selfpublishingstore.com, and it's there. It's the book that's on promotion, so it should pop up first of all, and you can pre-order the book there, and it will be out towards the end of February. So thank you, as always, for listening. And I hope I've made you as excited about the book as we have been to put it together. And until next time, happy writing and happy publishing. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Self-Publishing with ALLi featuring Orna Ross. This podcast is proudly sponsored by BookFunnel. Do you have reader magnets, ARCs, and direct digital sales? Want to join multi-author promotions? Thousands of authors trust BookFunnel for seamless delivery and real human support. Visit bookfunnel.com. This program is produced by the Alliance of Independent Authors. Find author advice, tips, and tools at our Self-Publishing Advice Center, selfpublishingadvice.org. And if you haven't already, we invite you to join our organization and become a self-publishing ally. You can do that at allianceindependentauthors.org.